me talk about some other things that the Sumerians were kind of known for, which inventions is something that they're real famous for, like all kinds of new kind of innovations and things that kind of come out later that other people copy. You know about that. I've got a bunch of them right here you can kind of look at, but cuneiform, which I just mentioned about, of course, one of the probably the greatest thing that they invented, first writing system, of course, I just talked about. The wheel. They think the wheel is something they first perfected, and they started using the wheel to develop things like the chariot, and the chariot probably like the cart and the chariot are kind of similar. They were being used, and so wheels were made of like things like some, I guess they made like wood, stone, or later like metal being used as well. Bronze. They're one of the first to mass produce bronze on a large scale, which bronze, if you know about it, is mostly copper with some tin, maybe 20% tin in it. And so some of the first like weapons and tools are being used a lot, mass produced a lot, of course, by the Sumerians. The plow, which you're looking at there, is something that they kind of first kind of invent as well, which kind of makes farming a lot easier. I think they're saying that the Sumerians were one of the first to really use mass irrigation, like from the Euphrates, Tigris rivers to irrigate their crops, grow their crops, and things like that. The sailboat, which a lot of early sailboats were made of reed, like reed boats, like you see in Mesopotamia and also in Egypt. And so those are initially some of the first kind of boats that come about. I'll get to it later. The ziggurat is also probably the second most famous thing, probably after cuneiform, is ziggurat, which were these massive temple tower type pyramids that they constructed, made of mostly mud brick. And they were kind of like civic centers that were primarily used as a temple, like for their religion. Of course, they're known for organized religion, which is, I guess, probably another thing they do as well. Beer, you see beer there, of course, probably another great invention. Probably one of the things that's still around today the most. Beer kind of is. And I think I remember reading about this before, but they actually found some kind of Sumerian tablet, like cuneiform tablet, that dates back to like 4000 BC. And it's a beer recipe, how to make beer. And then, of course, cities. They're the first to have, large-sized cities. At least I told you up to 80,000 people, maybe, in size. And most of them were made of mud brick. Yeah, here's kind of like I guess it would be like an army, like a Sumerian army. So, yeah, they're one of the first to have mass-produced weapons and large-sized armies and things like that. But they never progressed into like an empire. That's something that they don't really do. You won't really see that until the Akkadian culture comes in and kind of takes over Mesopotamia. Other things, too, I'll talk about as well that they're very famous for. Mathematics, Sumerian math. They were the first to really develop mathematics, which, if you know about the Sumerians, they had a form of math called sexagesimal. You may have heard about this. It's a type of numerical system based on 60, basically. And so that's what led to the idea that there's, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, that kind of thing. And then they came up with a 24-hour time also as well. So 12 months in a year, 360 days initially, 30 days a month, 24 hours, 60 minutes, and so on. So all that was kind of developed from the Sumerians and mathematics. And so they had that, they had engineering, they had astronomy, all kinds of things that they began to kind of develop at the time. And so, yeah, like the term, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. Those are something that they invented, like a long time ago. So I got to get to class in 60 minutes, that kind of thing. So they invented that.